we've had a bit of a few weeks break from our regular homeschool chats. You've moved house. I've had complications with elderly parents. We've launched Nature Quest. We've just had the expo up in Joburg, got another one coming, and life just seems to have so many moving parts and it looks really messy. But oops, there go the dogs. But ultimately, I think that we are used to a bit of mess, and I know that you had something to share around homeschooling being messy. So I thought I'm going to throw it to you and where the chat goes.
Yeah, I said that to somebody a few weeks ago and they were so relieved. And I just thought, yes, it's kind of not what you expect to hear, because we all think we've got to be organized and diligent, and we do need to be all those things. But sometimes homeschooling looks far messier than our mind thinks education should look, because most of us have come through the school system where children sit in neat rows and they keep quiet and they do their work and they do what's told. And in our homes, I've had kids sitting in pajamas wrapped with blankets in wintertime, kids sitting outside in summertime with an umbrella and a swimming costume on because it's hot. They lie around in pajamas, they lie on the floor while you're reading to them. It just doesn't look like our little classic picture of the little one room schoolhouse, and yet it can still be very effective. Mm-hmm. So I just thought we should talk about that and just help people to understand that you can be very relaxed and very unconventional and still give your children a good education.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially if you've got many ages, you might have a kid on the floor building Lego or making something out of recycling, while you've got one child finishing off work at a table, and then you're sitting on the couch with the little one learning to read. And it doesn't fit into that neat little schedule that you have pictured in your mind, and it's fine. I think that there's always a balance to things. So if you are feeling internally messy, it often plays out on the outside of our life, and that's not where we want to be. But you can have chaos all around you because of lots of little bodies and lots of interests and lots of things happening, but that isn't internalized messiness. So there, as long as you keep the balance. I mean, I remember time when the kitchen just never seemed to get clean because we had one child that was just wanting to make sweet creations all the time, and another one who wanted to collect things, feathers and bones and branches and twigs and pine cones, and those were scattered all over the house, but that was so important for their current interest. So you don't want to be spending your life scooping up and tidying up, but I think Fly Lady talks about 15 minutes worth of messy. So if you've got guests coming over, as long as whatever is there can be sorted out in 15 minutes, let it just happen. We don't have to confine our children to these little neat boxes.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about messy in the sense of the clutter and that mess, which we also do have to cope with. But you just reminded me of something I read recently about, and it was some guy saying, when you have kids, you will have random rocks in the house. And my son has gone through a stage of collecting rocks, and we've got rocks on the coffee table and rocks over here. So it's that kind of thing. And the other thing is that sometimes your children are doing something and you don't want to disrupt them, but inside of you need to get something done. So I've done things like take a chair outside and sit under the tree that my children are climbing in so that I can read aloud to them without spoiling their fun. And that's not how I think of education normally, but it worked. That day we were outdoors, and so lying on the grass outside, lying in the bed together, there's other ways of getting your education stuff done without making kids come and sit at the table and be all serious and school mom-like. And in the end, it kind of works on the relationships.
Yeah.
So be flexible. I think that's the tip.
That's absolutely fantastic. Great.